Next.
Hey, it smells so good in here.
Yep, that'd be the coffee.
I know. It's just I've had nasal polyps for so long. Now I'm on this medicine and my congestion and breathing are much better.
Dupixent, dupilumab, is an add-on prescription maintenance treatment for uncontrolled chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyps in adults and children 12 years and up. It can help shrink your nasal polyps so you can breathe better with less congestion.
I'm pretty jazzed about it. Plus, I don't want another surgery, and now I might not need one.
So, what can I get you?
Oh, medium coffee, please.
Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away if signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection or asthma. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor.
Do more with less nasal polyps. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Learn more at Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT.
One morning, you just walk in with a bag of everyone's faves from McDonald's, drop it on the counter, and say, breakfast is on me. Boom! That's the power of saving money on the McDonald's app. Hope you can handle all that. Save money with the app. At participating McDonald's, must opt into rewards.
Ask me. Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them. We'll read them. Then we'll give you answers. You know it. I've got it. I've got the answer. The answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
We're starting off this episode with a fight.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we're gonna. I have ideas of my own, Emily. Let me set the scene for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Friday night, Boise, Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Noah and I went out for a drink before dinner. We actually went out for dinner, and the place was so good, there turned out to be a 2-hour wait in Boise, Idaho. I felt very normal. I was like, look at us. We're out on a date on a Friday with people in sweatpants. And so we went for a drink, and I just started. I've been with Noah for like a full week. We did 2 8-hour car rides together. So we were just kind of like looking at our phones. And I was texting people. I didn't realize how drunk I was. But I still believe, I had 1 vodka on the rocks and 2 ciders. So it's not like I was really tying one on. I said to Emily, because I love the holidays, because my life is so scattered and I feel so stressed these last few years. I always like to think about the holidays. And I said, the next Ask Iliza Anything live that we do, which will have already been done by the time you hear this Wednesday, I would like for it to be.
Wait, you want to do. You think that the show that we're doing in 2 days, I can now produce.
I meant December 2nd.
Which will not be done when this episode comes out this Wednesday.
Will not be. December 2nd is the third live one we're doing.
Yeah.
As we march toward a very cool goal that I have and a dream. And I said, let's do it as a holiday episode, hoping that it will come out by Christmas. And Emily, I thought was going to be like, totally, Iliza, everything you've ever said is a great idea. And I look up to you, not just as a friend, but really as the best version of what I could be, and as my older sister. And as a sister you never had, even though you have one. And here's what you said to me.
I just want to say, you've known me for how many years? And you thought I'd just agree to something?
I didn't think about it. I know that you won't, but I was like buzzed and I was feeling so good. I'm like, let's do a Christmas episode, like a holiday episode.
We could absolutely do that on this podcast.
Okay, well then set it up. But here's what you said.
Okay, please.
So I broached the Christmas idea and I said, I'm going to be honest. I've had 2 drinks and I'm fully prepared to fight you on this. Just a seasonal ep. And Emily writes, LOL, good luck. I do this all damn day. And I was like, oh, she's taking her earrings off. And she goes, I am the shrew of social media. I tell everyone they're wrong all day long. I told an audio editor their audio was bad today and it needed to be fixed. Okay. And then she got back to normal, which by the way is like not that big of a flex. Like I told someone they had to do something.
I'm just saying, and that wasn't Scott, by the way. I'm just saying, I'm telling people that are wrong where I don't even know how to do their job. I just know they're wrong.
I mean, I get it. I take a page from that book, but I am stealing that. Like, good luck. I do this all damn day.
I do. It's
I eat fucking losers like you and your shitty jobs for breakfast.
I tell people no all day. I say I'm not
Emily,
doing that.
munching on these hoes.
I've always been the wet blanket. That's my role here.
No, it's different than a wet blanket. It's like a wet blanket that you put in the microwave and it didn't get dry. It just got like hotter, but it's still wet and it burns you and it's even heavier.
I think we should do a fun holiday episode on the show to come
Okay,
out
well, then set it
whenever
up.
that Wednesday is before.
Okay, just everyone know that Emily hates the
It's the
holidays,
18th.
Jews, Christians, and other people.
As long as they know I hate everyone equally and they
Yeah,
don't
then
think
that's
it's
okay.
more targeted at one group.
Then it's not hate if it's ubiquitous. Well, I would love a holiday episode. I would love multiple holiday episodes. I think they make people feel really good. I
Okay.
know I love a fall candle, a Christmas ornament. I can't quite bring myself to decorate a tree. That's a bridge too far, but I love interloping.
Well, I will say this, write in to asklizapodcast@gmail.com with your holiday questions because Wednesday is the 25th this year. So we could do one on the 25th and one the week before to really sink into it. So
No offense,
Yeah.
but if you're listening to this podcast on Christmas, well, you're probably just Jewish. Okay.
Or it's like the morning and you're getting ready before you go do whatever Christmas stuff.
I wouldn't know. I'm always sleeping and like waking up to like a very cold house.
Sometimes
alone.
it doesn't Christmas and it overlaps with Hanukkah. And so then you're still getting up.
No, Jews don't open presents in the morning.
You do your one present at night.
Your one present. I don't know because we don't have kids old enough to do it. Maybe this year, but I don't think Sierra will grasp the concept of just the one. Don't look at the rest. Last year we were in Europe. And in between looking at ripped down hostage posters, I made sure to have Hanukkah every night just for on the principle.
Yeah.
And I gave her a little croissant every night.
That's fun. And
She's
cute.
a little kid. She had bread. She didn't need a gift.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I know being thankful is on everyone's minds, and with thankfulness comes gratitude, a concept that honestly really bothers me. I'm tired of thanking everyone else. You know who deserves a thank you? Me. You deserve a thank you. When's the last time you thanked yourself? Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we are doing the absolute best we can. So here I am reminding you to send some thanks to the people in your life, but mostly send some thanks to yourself. And a great way to do that is with therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time, no additional charge. You don't have to travel anywhere. They take the hassle out of finding that perfect therapist. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Iliza today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Iliza. Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet. That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat that's one of those, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza.
And we have to do a postmortem because we are retiring Fight Me.
Yeah,
It was bad.
it wasn't bad, but it is funny that you were like, oh, we should cut it. And everyone in the Patreon is like, yes. And here's what I will say. Again, we are a democratic podcast society.
Something's got to be democratic.
Right.
Something's got to be left.
We're taking your thoughts into account. But for all the people listening that are not part of the Patreon, I'm sorry, your voices were not heard. You have to sign up for the Patreon. No one defended it. Everyone said, don't want it anymore. Some people were like, we like that there's like a fan element, but we don't want to fight because you're not actually fighting, which is fair because no one was writing in like, I like to stomp on small animals. Everybody.
The lesson is join the Patreon because big business now runs this country in a way that they sort of always did, but now Elon Musk is our king. So join the Patreon. We've retired Fight Me. It was the last fight went out.
Yes.
And we're going to replace it with something else.
Well, so we've had a lot of excitement for audio confessions, which we will be introducing that. We will also be introduced. Do you want to talk about the other segment? Yeah. We're introducing animal songs, and I'm very interested to see how you all feel about that, which is, do you want to explain what it is, Liza?
It's just the gibberish songs you sing your dog. And I know no one's really interested in someone else's or pet. But it could be a little fun soundbite because some of them are insane. Like Tianfu's are pure gibberish and kind of culty, the things that I say to her. And I'm just wondering if anyone else can match that crazy. So
I think that it also is the thing of like, some podcasts read their reviews, their 5-star reviews, because
I should read their dog songs.
We already asked them to submit them as audio. People
I
just
should
want to
read it.
hear their names. They want to hear themselves. They want to like be part of it. So that's,
I would love to
we're filling
read
that.
like Buttons the cat. You have a nose. Your nose is small. Buttons the cat. You have a nose. Like I would write to read it like a haiku.
Okay.
Let's
so
see.
Do you want people to either both submit audio and or written for you to?
Yeah, it's your choice. I can
Okay.
either read it or you can submit audio. Okay. Kind of like how we do anonymous questions. So that's what we will be replacing this with. And if you are listening to this Wednesday, please come and see me in Las Vegas. I'm jamming it in right at the tap. I got a new home at the Cosmopolitan at the Chelsea. And by home, I mean a place I'm going to go once for now.
They might invite you back.
If you are hearing this Wednesday, that means we just recorded our live episode, so you can still get your tickets for the December 2nd episode. But those are filling up. Or they're all sold out. What?
It depends. They might be full. We have some, we reach out
whatever.
RSVP. You don't need all the
Fine.
details, but
Okay.
should we talk about the election as well?
Let me say this about the election.
Okay, because let me just say, people appreciated that we put out an episode that was just like
Yes.
evergreen. They were like, it's nice escapism. I think that the show is escapist, but also it would feel insane not to say anything.
It would feel insane. I spent the election and days after in rural Montana, probably surrounded by almost 100% very lovely conservatives. Nobody really wanted to talk about it. And I was like, I'm the person that's like, who wants to talk about politics with someone you don't know?
Ugh.
I was grateful to not be in LA, so I did not have to hear and see the performative emoting and screaming and falling into each other's arms and crying. We did that. We did that the first time. It's enough. If anything, this should motivate you even more to vote in a local election. Several states actually strengthened their pro-abortion laws in the wake of this. So while a lot of states went Republican, a lot of people, actually about 7 states, I think, strengthened that language. And it really just came down to a lot of people were pro-choice, but the economy mattered more. And I get that.
But here's what kills me is that you can see Google trends of things being Googled. And everybody after Trump won Googled what a tariff was and was like, oh, shit. Like,
yeah, most people voting are idiots.
People were also Googling Joe Biden's not running anymore. Like there were people voting that got there and his name wasn't on the ballot and they were shocked and confused. Like it's so upsetting.
Sure. I mean, there's idiots everywhere. And I have to be honest, I registered as a Democrat so that I could vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And I was willing to do it, even though it would have been pretty bad for me. But I believe in the things that she stood for. I made my post, whatever. But I do believe this. I believe that liberals largely did this. And I know this is not about like who voted. I'm saying if you guys look at the trends in our society, politics aside, every single conservative man, every man for the last several years in Hollywood has been obsessed with the concept of being woke. Interviews, podcasts. It was always like, so what do you think about this wokeness? And you can't say anything. And what happened was we took something that was very delicate and should have been understood, and liberals jammed it down people's throats with every cancellation, with every you can't say that, with every attack because someone did something imperfectly. Far left liberals pushed centrist people a little bit further to the right. And I'm not saying that's all that did this. And here I am as a person who deeply believes in gay rights and trans rights and all the things an intellectual person would fucking understand. But I really think people put their feelings ahead of everything. And all you want to do is vilify the middle class. I'm willing to always accept an education. I always want to know what I don't know. But I think a lot of people in this country really got tired of being told how horrible they were and having agendas jammed down their throats and having people screaming and crying, and everything is about your disorder, your personality, your feelings, your gender, your sex. For the most part, and I can say this because I travel this country, I see my audience as I talk to people. For the most part, people just want to live and let live. Yes, you should always want your fair share of rights, right? It's not enough to be like, I'm gay and I can sort of get married, but not really. No, you deserve as a human being to enjoy the same rights as anyone else of any color, of any gender, of any sexual orientation. That's, to me, that's not the issue. I think the issue was taking out your anger and pain on people who really are not part of the problem. Screaming at people who agree with you, feeling so powerless, so constantly trying to cancel people for the smallest thing, even if you said something racist, calling everything transphobic just because you make a trans joke. Like, we still have freedom of speech here. Labeling people, deliberately labeling people things that you know would hurt their future employment, their social presence, deliberately doing things to hurt people because you feel so powerless. I think all of that swelled up and pushed people a little bit to the right. Just remember, every time you assume somebody is the awful thing that you want them to be because you're hurting, you close yourself off a little bit more. And I can tell you that as a Jewish person this year, it is an exercise. It is a deliberate exercise to give every single person a chance and not immediately, because I know what their group did post October 7th, write them off. And that is part of living in a democracy. And I don't think enough people have done that. But with every push, enough people went slightly to the right that it tilted. And I think it's a lesson. I'm sorry.
Have you seen what I think is like emblematic of the problem, which is the white women making the blue friendship bracelets?
The fuck is a blue friendship bracelet for? I know it's not anti-Semitism.
No,
nobody
it's
cares.
to show that they weren't part of the 70% of white women who voted for Trump, which it's like, I am seeing Black women online who are basically like, we're sick of like white women being like, oh, whoops. It's like white women should have been talking to other white women for the last year, 2 years, like to now be like, oh, I'm not like them. Like we should have been that's who we should have been talking to is our friends who were saying like, oh, we disagree, but it's still friends. It's like, no, target those people instead of targeting people in poor communities who are having a shitty time. Target all those other middle-class white women that are just like, Trump won't really affect me probably.
How's this? I actually don't feel the need to defend myself against a total fucking stranger.
Right.
It is such virtue signaling to wear a blue bracelet. Why? Because someone's going to stop you in the street and be like, are you white? Did you vote? And you can be like, okay, let's do this about your color. You don't owe anyone anything. Whatever color or gender, you don't owe anyone an explanation for anything. And if I voted Kamala, which I did, I don't need to prove it to anyone because the women you're proving it to will be the first ones to cancel you. So basically, I guess I'm a weird libertarian woman on an island. I don't know what the fuck I am, but I don't want to be on anyone's side.
It's just it's that performativeness of white women where it's like, okay, well now it didn't go, we have to defend ourselves. Well, why are you now in action to defend yourself? Why weren't you in action so that this didn't happen?
Yeah. And here's the other side. I don't know. I guess the question is, what does anyone owe anyone? If you don't need an abortion and your kids don't need gender affirming care and no one in your community is gay, whatever, then, and you're worried about the economy, like, I get it and I don't. I do think you're a little bit of a traitor. It does feel like a lot of women don't think politics are for them and a lot of women kind of just like do what their husbands do. And this is your chance to really take stock of what fucking matters to you and make it happen locally.
Yeah.
It sucks because anything angry I say about liberals, like a lot of those are my fans and you just lose people. I posted a very level-headed thing about Donald Trump and why I just can't vote for him. Nobody loves him, by the way. It's not like he's this beloved
the people
former
wearing
president.
diapers do.
And I lost thousands of followers. And I don't see liberal people like rushing to replace that. So I guess we'll just keep letting super conservative, women-hating men get millions of followers on podcasts because podcast space is for conservative men.
Yeah.
And I'll just be here screaming while it all burns down.
Well, here's what I'll warn everyone about as your resident Best Buy employee. The price on electronics is going to go up with the tariffs, the parts that make electronics. If you have a laptop or cell phone purchase on the horizon, do it before the end of this year. Like buy those electronic items now. Genuinely, that's my warning.
Get your copper tipped cables.
Yeah. Get
USB
your
to
3D
C.
printer.
Because iPhone's going to fuck you until Elon comes along with his Earthlink phone. iPhone's going to fuck you with their chargers, ever changing, and all that cobalt or whatever it takes to make them just going back into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now.
So now we've bummed everyone else out. Do you want to talk about your nice big accomplishments?
The Amazon taping was fantastic. The crowd was hot fire. The scariest moment, really for the person it happened to, but also for me, a woman had a seizure in the middle. And I don't know that it was conveyed correctly to me because I'm telling jokes, and all of a sudden I just see a person standing on stage. And I was like, Jesus Christ. It was the stage manager. She goes, we have an emergency. We need to get you off the stage. When you say we need to get you off the stage, yeah, I think there's active shooter.
Yeah.
I walk off stage. My manager's face is sullen and she goes, there's a medical emergency.
Oh.
And I was like, is it my mom?
Oh.
Is it the dog? And she's like, a woman had a seizure. And I was like, okay, well, that's also awful, but
that's very scary.
Not as personally awful as the other two.
I mean,
and she's fine.
You heard, okay, you got confirmation.
Sent her a little care package.
Okay, that's nice. Cause that is my sister in high school had a seizure for the first time, and they just came to my classroom to get me out of my classroom because we were in different classes. Like, your sister's had an emergency. And I'm like, I was 16 or 17. What do you want? And then they had me come to the classroom. And I'm like, what am I? I'm not a medic. Why are you bringing me in here?
You're her twin, and we need you to
We
donate
need a,
part of your spleen.
like it was just like, I was like, okay, I'm here too now, not helping.
The show was amazing. The pants were hot fire. I hope they photographed well. Montana was rural and snowy and remote and beautiful. But after 8 hours of driving through Montana and Idaho, I'm like, it's enough following this Salmon Creek. I got to get back to a freeway where there's some cell service. But it's beautiful. One of the last truly untouched, actually pristine, beautiful parts of our country.
Are you keeping any celebrities from me who attended your show?
In Utah, I don't think anyone did. And if they did, I don't know.
Okay. You had a lot going on.
We had a lot going on.
You're
But
always
it was
pants first with your special looks.
it just became that way. And I think I'm going to stick with it.
You build it around the pants. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about these pants. The hair looked great. I assume the makeup looked great. I didn't really see any close-ups. That's how like out of it I was. And it's like a wedding. Like there's all this buildup and then it like happens for like 2 hours. And then at the end, you're like, I guess I'll just drink champagne on the floor and eat these cupcakes with my face on them. So now that you're all updated, let's get back to you, my loyal listeners.
Our longest
I've
intro.
alienated half of my fans with my sociopolitical
I mean,
views.
you already did being
Alienate?
honest on social media. So I don't think we've made it. I think we're pretty clear with what our views are here, but I also think we're pretty chill.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Only conservatives gain more conservative fans. Liberals are like, well, she started off the sentence and ended
that's
it with a
why-
preposition. So
It's a career path. You don't do that well as a comedian. And so you go, I'm going to become really conservative. And now I have a built-in audience. You
now
see
I have
that
$1
all
billion.
the time. Honestly,
Let's-
yeah. If you were willing to just fully sell out and be like, who is that lady? Tommy Lahren or whatever, you go like full Laura Loomer, you could make so much money. That's why Trump became a Republican. He said, like, what, 1998, he was like, yeah, if I was going to run, I'd run as a Republican because they're so stupid. I could fleece them for everything. So it's like,
I mean,
you could
I
make
already
so
have
much
the
money.
practice being around intolerable men as a comic.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about running for office, and I think I would make a great congresswoman.
The problem is you'd be like, okay, I'm going to be a congresswoman, but I'm also going to keep doing stand-up and doing this podcast, and I'm just
No.
going to fit it all in.
Maybe a senator. I don't know. I'd have to
Maybe
really
a
look at.
senator, congresswoman. Maybe I'd have time to be a senator.
I don't know if I could affect change on the federal level, but that seems to be the most impactful. I don't know. And it would take somebody with a lot of money pulling me aside and being like, we want you. And I'd be like, you know what? I could wear a low bun. I could do it.
I've noticed that, at least since I've had my babies, that I smell differently when I sweat. Maybe I'm just like getting older. I don't know, but I smell differently. And I don't love that. If I'm on set or if I'm on stage or if I'm doing anything like functioning in public and I don't want sweat stains or to be aware of my stinky, stinky pits, that's when I turn to Lumi Whole Body Deodorant because it keeps me smelling fresh all day. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, under boobs, right ladies, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, your feet. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Well, unlike certain traditional deodorants that may try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. If you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code Iliza for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code Iliza at LumiDeodorant.com. The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling, and nothing feels better year round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's
sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way, you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
All right, let's help with women's problems.
Let's do it. I'm not positive how a bill gets passed. Okay.
I know that there's a song about it, but yeah, otherwise I don't know. Iliza and Emily, I'm a 29 female living in Seattle. I've been on the dating apps for about 4 months now. I'm a serious dater looking for my person. Have been on probably 40 first dates, mostly with men that I'm ultimately not interested in. I've gone on second and third dates with about 6 guys. About 3 times I've chosen to end the dating after I decide I'm not interested. Exactly 3 times I've wanted another date.
So many numbers.
But the guy hasn't been into it.
Okay, so just you're dating.
Yes.
These are dating dates.
Yes. Time 1. A guy who was only in town a few months turned me down for a third date. I asked why. He said it felt like I had walls up. I sort of assumed he was just looking for someone to fuck while he was in town, so I'm not too surprised. Time number 2. Good first date with guy lasted about 3 hours. He chose to extend the date slightly by having us grab drinks after our first activity. Guy planned second date. Date had to be 10 days after first date because I was out of town. He initiates a good amount of texting. We text a few times a day. He initiates some light flirting and I reciprocated to a slightly lesser degree. This is so analytical.
Yeah. Are you like a computer programmer or do you work for like the CIA?
Yeah.
Profile 3. Like a little chyron at the bottom.
Yeah. The day before the date, he basically says, yeah, I'm not feeling what I expected to feel. And I've also bit off more than I can chew in my dating life. I'm not going to make it to the date tomorrow. Let me know if you have questions. Although he worded it slightly more thoughtfully than that.
Weird. Oh, okay.
I was shocked because he'd been lightly flirting via text for a week and a half. And he initiated the texting and flirting.
Yeah.
So, okay. Time number 3.
Wait, can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. People get turned off. You could have said something weird. He could have taken up with a girl that he liked more. You could have just said something he didn't like. Like this is what dating is. Otherwise, it would just be getting engaged. And I actually really respect that he was like, I'm not into it, which is what women are always asking for. That's okay that he initiated it. We can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time number 3. This one I was the most shocked by. Great first date. Lasted about 5 hours. We each suggested extending the date at different times throughout the afternoon as we suggested additional fun things we could do. Example, play pool, grab food. We plan to have a second date. He does most of the organizing and coming up with the ideas. Date goes great. Lasts about 6 hours as he suggested we go to a place to play pool after we left the show we went to. After pool, he even offered up that we could go to the roof of his apartment nearby. Throughout the whole date, he was looking for reasons to touch my arm or back. He complimented me here and there. He even made a bet. And if he won, he got to kiss me. He lost, so we didn't kiss.
Oh, cool. And he lost. He's like, I bet you I could name 4 presidents. And he couldn't.
After the date, I text and say I had a nice time and would like to do it again. He nicely says something like, I've liked getting to know you, but we're not a match. All the best to you. WTF, 2 great dates. You're touching me, extending the date, making bets to kiss me, and then you don't want a third date. This makes no sense to me. Was he looking for someone to fuck?
Probably.
Gosh, they're making me say this so much. Questions.
It's weird when you say
I know you're uncomfortable with it.
It's making me want to fuck.
Okay, so we have two questions. Do you agree these dudes were probably just looking for someone to fuck? If yes, why am I attracting these men? If not, am I doing something wrong that's turning them off? Do I have to play stupid games like Hard to Get? And two, how do I avoid being shocked and disappointed when I'm blindsided like this when dating? How do I get less emotionally invested in guys I barely know but feel hopeful about? Thanks, Kristen.
I look. This is, first of all, you feel you're under the gun because you're 29. You have time, but I think that's why this is like kind of bothering you. And it's bothering you because these things seem so great and they want to keep doing it. There is, I don't know what you look like. There is the chance that you are putting out, I'm not going to say that this is right or wrong. There's a chance that you're putting out a vibe that you're like, there's nothing wrong with being sexual, but like a certain vibe. And maybe you attract a certain kind of guy. And maybe these are the kind of guys that do just want to have sex, which is fine because some girls just want to have sex. But if you're looking for something longer, I wonder if your dating profile says that. And maybe you don't do a 5-hour date. Because it seems like you're letting them take, like, I don't know. My first date with Noah was a very, very long date and that was great. So normally I'd be like, yeah, that's such a good sign. But if this keeps happening to you, are you being flirty? Like, are you saying things you're like, yeah, and maybe if we go back to your place, like, are you suggesting things that make it sound like, oh, this is going to happen, and then they kind of get tired? The other version is, this is just what dating is, and you will do this enough and you'll find someone who did want to do that third date and go out again. It's also possible that these guys, I don't know, at 29, as disgusting as it is, I feel like guys are like 32 and they're looking for someone who's like 26. Like, it's such a weird place to be in, but like you're too sure of yourself, which is not a bad thing. And they're turned off by that, or you know what you want. It actually doesn't matter because all we have is the context that you're giving us. So you're attractive enough to get dates that last a very long time. Who fucking cares what these rejects think? If this had always happened to you forever, but this is just 3 dates and they're dates that go on for a while, frankly, I'm not interested in what some guy who just wanted to have sex thinks. And you don't need that feedback. And however you are is going to be perfect for someone else.
I think the only flag I saw, I think these just aren't a fit and that's fine. And especially the guy that was just in town briefly, like, yeah, he just want to have sex with someone. The only flag I see is the guy betting if he wins, he gets to kiss you, and then he lost. I feel like
didn't kiss him.
Right. Like, there was room there if you liked him to be like, oh, you can still have a peck or something. I wonder if it was just like, well, you lost, sucker. Like, how competitive are you when you guys are going out to play pool? Not that you shouldn't be competitive. Guys can be competitive. Girls,
but
blah,
like,
blah, blah,
you're
blah.
noticing, but he touched my arm. He made a compliment. And it's like, okay, but take stock. Are you attracted to this person?
Right. Are you moving it forward and you're saying the other guy, he initiated a lot. He started the light flirting.
He might have just gotten tired.
Initiating or you're just only responding when the guys do something?
Yeah, he may have just gotten tired of being like, this isn't worth it enough. Like, this is a lot of work. Like, you don't have to do it.
Flirting is so much work.
It's so much sexual tension. The kiss thing, look, it's lame that he did a bet. Like, are we 19? Like, that's lame. The amount of times, like, I'll see couples on Instagram do it. Like, my husband bet me that we could, like, anytime I'd be like, Noah, want to bet? He's like, nope. And I'm like, really? Because I think this. He's like, okay. Like, there's no, if I win, then you get a hand job. And if I win, you got to down on me for 2 hours. Like, it's so immature. It's so lame that he did that. But frankly, it's lame that you didn't kiss him. He probably was just like embarrassed. He should have made the bet. If he loses, he gets a kiss and then lost on purpose because that you can control.
I'm dying to know what the bet was. Like, it's very funny, the idea that he just like totally whiffed something and then also didn't get the kiss.
He's like, I bet you can't make me hard. No way. No, you can't. I bet you can't. I bet you can't find my penis. There's no way. So the answer is either don't make them work so hard for it because these guys are getting exhausted, which is obviously not the answer. Just find the guy that's right for you. Nobody said dating was easy.
Oh, it really isn't.
I wish we could see it because I wish I could see, like, at the end, are you like, well, you sucked, so call me. Like, if it's 3 guys in a row, men don't. They say they like a challenge and it's to a point, You might also just be exceptional. And I will tell you, as someone who is also exceptional, men like a low-hanging fruit. And you might just be too much in a good way. Never settle. There's nothing wrong with it.
You sound very smart, the analyzing of everything. You too, Eliza. The question
By the way,
asker.
do not ask them anything. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Men are more sensitive than women. Did I walk out on this date? I ended a date with a guy one time because he hid from me that he had children. And then we got on the date and he was like, I have kids. And I said to him on the date, I'm sorry, I think I was like 30 at the time. I said, I don't really want to date a man with kids.
Yeah.
And he fired back. He goes, okay, well, you're the oldest woman I've ever gone out with. I was like,
okay, well,
Cool.
good luck with your kids, buddy.
I can't imagine why you're divorced.
Yeah.
So just don't ask these guys for their feedback.
No. Dear Eliza and Emily and the whole AIA crew. My friend Bobina and I are writing to you from Canada. We're coming. This is from Cactus and their friend Bobina.
Okay.
We're coming to see you in Vegas this week. Woo! Sorry if this is a long one. We have a girl group dilemma. We're a new friend group, 6 months. And after some hangouts over the summer, things recently blew up when one of the girls, let's call her Marzipan, drunkenly told another girl, we'll call her Arugula, that
Okay, I gotta get out an ingredient list. Hold on. I gotta get out a cookbook. Marzipan told Arugula
that she talks too much about her trauma. For context, Arugula,
she's probably right.
Arugula has had a lot
I
of.
don't even know her, and she's right.
I know. That is something you would tell someone.
Having a dairy sensitivity is not trauma.
Arugula has had a lot of rough relationships and does tend to talk about them for hours without asking about anyone else's life.
Oh, I know who this person is. Not this Arugula, but I have dealt with this.
With Arugulas of your own.
Oh boy. Continue.
Some of us had discussed with Marzipan present that it's a lot to take and that she's been using us as therapists. However, Marzipan also said some things that weren't true, or she changed the context of things that were said. Arugula completely freaked out in the group chat, sent photos of her abuse, and told us we're the reason women die because we don't believe her, which we never said. We all believed her. We just couldn't be there in the way she wanted, like a therapist.
Remember the thing I said at the beginning about how people take it too far and blame their allies, and now no one has any friends. Oh my God.
She told us never to message her again and that we don't support her. She sent the same messages across multiple groups and even created a new one targeting a few people. Most of us didn't respond and have since left the group chat. That day, Marzipan messaged each of us individually saying, "Hi, just FYI, Arugula and I were out drinking and I told her some of us think she talks too much about her trauma and she went nuts and posted all that stuff. My bad." She sent us screenshots of her and Arugula arguing.
We're both not doing great.
Arugula arguing. That's hard.
Arugula arguing.
It felt like she was trying to justify what she did and get everyone on her side. She didn't show any remorse for the hurt she caused Arugula. No one seems to be friends with Arugula anymore, and many had started to pull away before because it felt like a one-sided friendship. A few of us now feel uncomfortable with Marzipan because we don't trust her. We didn't want to hurt Arugula, but we feel like Marzipan told her these things unnecessarily and added some untrue things to dramatize it. Over the months, we've noticed that Marzipan feeds on gossip, and it seems like she told Arugula all this, not thinking about how it might hurt her. My friend Bobina and I aren't sure what to do. Can I just say, these names are so fun.
I love it.
Better than A and
Thank
B.
you.
I love talking about Arugula and Marzipan.
I've never heard the word Bobina. And I was like, we want to be culturally sensitive.
We still have to have group gatherings, but don't really want to interact with Marzipan. Some of the girls are still friends with her, though. What would you do in this situation? Should we keep hanging out with Marzipan in groups or avoid her and cut ties, even if it means missing out on some gatherings? Would it be wrong to have group events without inviting Marzipan, knowing she'd probably find out? Also, Marzipan is intimidating. And since it's a small town, we're worried about getting on her bad side. Any
Jesus
advice would be
Christ.
greatly appreciated. So excited to see you in 5 days. Sincerely, Cactus and Bobina.
All right, Cactus and Bobina. First of all, you made the right call by getting away, coming to see my show, okay? Sometimes, first of all, Arugula took care of herself. People like Arugula are incapable of receiving feedback. And it usually takes a major breakthrough or a breakdown or something and a very big person to be like, oh my God, like the way I'm operating has been wrong. This question is not about arugula, but the second you said it, I was like, yep, I know someone exactly like that. It was not, I don't know how to put this. It was a relationship that I was able to cut out of my life, and I did it as kindly as I could. And even with the feedback that we had given this person, they just were like, no, here's all the reasons. Everyone's always been done me wrong. There are people whose whole personality is being a victim. That's it. And there's nothing you can do to fix it. And she would always talk about all of her friends. I'm like, how do you have friends? Like, who wants to hear this all the time? Never asked a question back. So I get it. Don't worry about arugula. This thing, I'm a girl who's been called intimidating before, even though I have never done anything to anyone. What's really gonna happen? Like, just on the intimidating side, like, what's she gonna do?
Right.
I think you got a little bit of, not so much a mean girl, but like a little gossip queen, a little like queen bee in Marzipan. Do you like Marzipan? Do you like hanging out with her? You can just make the choice. It sucks to be friends with someone and limit yourself, but different friends can serve different things. I don't know if you guys are equipped. You sound very young. I don't know if you're equipped to be in this big friend group, because this idea that women are this homogenous blob that all move together. It's not book club, which we've even gotten questions of people writing in about book club and how that's been dramatic. You don't have to be friends with all these people all the time. If you deliberately cut out Marzipan and invite everyone else, you know that that's mean. You can only control your relationship with Marzipan.
Yeah, I think it's fair to not attend if Marzipan's not going to be there and you don't want to see her. But she is just like, arugula was annoying. Okay, don't hang out with her. Marzipan definitely took some joy in crushing arugula. Marzipan was like, hey, everybody else is actually saying really bad things about you. Can you believe it?
Or the version is Marzipan did the job that nobody else wanted to do. And she said the thing. And if she exaggerated a little bit, like, yeah, it's shitty. I'd have to hear what the exaggeration was. But as someone who has exaggerated before, I don't know if it matters.
I will say,
I think what matters is your relationship with her. And you can say to her at some point, be like, hey, because it sounds like you do like her. You can say like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I just want to hear what happened with arugula. And she'll tell you, and you'll be like, I don't know. You can say to her, like, I don't think it's right to exaggerate it. Like, I think you could have made your point without whatever. If she betrayed you, or I think you're afraid that if you tell her a secret, she'll tell people. And I don't know. I guess part of it's maybe don't be friends with someone that you don't trust. But I do think there is a lot of value in standing up for yourself. Women forget, if you cannot stand up for yourself to a friend, that's not your friend. And you don't have to worry about anything. She's not going to do anything.
Yeah. I will also say I'm that kind of liar where I will exaggerate, and I hope you don't cross-check my story with someone else I told it to be quite honest. So
we all exaggerate, and nobody ever cross-checks anything.
Yeah.
She did you a favor. She got rid of this girl. Women are always afraid of their friends, but you can say to her, you can be like, hey, I just want to let you know, I did think arugula was all these annoying things, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being honest with people. And I'll be honest, I don't think it was necessary to do this and this and this to her. And then she'll tell you why she was right. It's kind of at what cost?
Yeah.
But under no circumstances should you deliberately cut this girl. I think we are very good at vilifying women very quickly. This is a girl that you like. This is a girl you like being friends with. Do not cut her out and invite everyone else, because that is pointed. But you're definitely within your rights to hang out with people without her, just not your entire group.
Unless you don't like her, in which case, yeah, feel free to go do something else.
Then you should just tell her if you want. I mean, you could just honestly ghost her, or you could just tell her, be like, I think that you took a lot of weird pleasure in hurting arugula's feelings, and it made me uncomfortable. I don't think you're going to do any of that.
No.
I think you need to think about it a little bit less, but do not fear appear.
Yeah. Okay, do you want me to try to play you an animal song, my headphones into this, since I can't share?
Animal song, your mouth is so small. Animal song, I give it my all. Squeeze your body, I give you a kiss. Animal songs, this time I won't miss. There you go.
Okay, this song, we love all the animals on our Patreon. All of you are posting your animals. We love them all. We do.
Yeah.
But I think Iliza and I were both particularly tickled by the name of one animal.
The kitten, the gray kitten?
A kitten named Beef Stew.
Beef Stew. We love you.
Just because it's so, I will admit, as someone who loves my animals' names, Beef Stew is a much better animal name than any name I've ever given one.
It's better than my secret dog name, which is Nostril. I want to adopt a small dog and name it Nostril.
And there's something about it that's just so precious. So we got a song that is sung to Beef Stew. Okay.
There's no way. Do you think it is, having heard it, does it live up to the name Beef Stew?
We're going to see if you can even hear it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Hi to Iliza and Emily only. You can use my name. It's Bree. B-R-I is Bree or Bry. Bree attaches a little ditty about my kitten Beef Stew. From the highest light, Bree.
This is a song about beef stew. It's to the tune of Pearl Jam's Even Flow. Beef and stew. She's a little kitty cat. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, beef stew. And she chases them away.
I like how she kept some of the original lyrics. Chases them away. Who's them?
That was so perfect for Beef Stew.
World beefy stew. Yeah, I would have made it my own differently. I would have made it about her mouth. Maybe always mouth. That was,
yeah. You have one thing you focus on in an animal. That's what you look for. It's like there are like guys that like asses, and you're like, I'm a
mouthman. I'm a mouthman. I like a thick mouth. That was outstanding. Thank you for regaling us with the song of Beef Stew.
And that's exactly what we want. Take this ballad of Beef Stew, and all of you come with the same energy, come with the same enthusiasm. I feel like people can really be themselves when they're singing to their animals.
Yeah, think of this like early American Idol. Like, this is your chance. And we need to call the episode, I was thinking of arguing with arugula, but I think it needs to be called The Ballad of Beef Stew.
100%. And this is so unrelated. You don't watch reality at all. I never watched American Idol. But how crazy is it that they basically found the best singer the first season and then had to keep doing the show? Like, they found Kelly Clarkson.
I know.
And they were like, it worked. They're like, we're going to find America's best singer. Found her. And they're like, all right.
They also found Carrie Underwood.
I mean, yes, okay. And everybody who was ever won Fantasia. Fantasia's a great actor. Did she win or she was a follow-up? I mean, lots of people, but I would say out of anyone,
Adam Lambert,
the amount of Clay Aiken, everyone's favorite, the amount of stuff that Kelly can cover and do, like the range, like she can just do anything. Like that voice is just, they found it.
So when you do her show, like she sings at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Just for you. She just comes into your dressing room and sings at you.
She sings for the audience. Yeah. I don't know if that makes it to air, but it must.
She does songs. I know she'll do songs where like kind of like battle. Like I know like Anne Hathaway sang her song. Like she's also very gracious about people covering her songs. But people are always saying you don't want Kelly Clarkson covering your song because it's going to sound so good that you're like, well, what do I do now?
I hope she covers my jokes. I would love to see that. I will tell you, having done her show, she's real. She's like, she's just chill. Sometimes you do people's shows, they kind of don't talk or they're stiff. I've done a lot of daytime and she's just like a person who kind of talks to you. And I really like that, Kelly Clarkson. She's also from the DFW area.
Oh, I didn't know that about her.
Well, that's why she's so great. All right, back to the show.
Okay, I need to share that this email came in pink font and a different font than usual, maybe a Comic Sans, and I'm going to read it, and I appreciate this, but I do think if your font is not in the normal type and color of an email, I assume you're trying to steal from me. Yeah.
Yeah. Dear sir or madam.
Yes, exactly. So let's see if this is actually a Nigerian prince. Hey, gang, my best friend has just had a second baby and 1 month later found out that her husband has cheated on her for the second time. Oh, God. But my question is, how do I stay neutral and support her without inserting my opinions? She's already expressed to me, quote, I'm probably going to stay with him and everyone is going to judge me. I know that, talking about our friend group. That was when I realized I was out of my depth. I genuinely thought she was going to be able to look deep, deep inside and decide that this isn't the life she wanted, but I don't think she's truly ready to commit to life without him. They've been
Yeah.
together for over a decade, have 2 children. She isn't taking the cheating as seriously as she's taking the mental health crisis she believes he's in, which can 100% be true, but they aren't mutually exclusive. And she believes that the reasons he has felt, quote,
Yeah.
off about the marriage is 100% because he's struggling with depression. Thanks, y'all. I love hearing the show each week. Hope to be able to see you soon. All my love, A.
Plenty of people deal with all kinds of things, and it like A does not equal B. Plenty of people are bipolar or schizophrenic. It doesn't make them racist. Plenty of people are depressed. It doesn't mean that they cheat. You know, like there's all these different things that we like to blame things on. Your friend is in denial. That's it. Your friend is in denial. People who are depressed don't have the energy to go and flirt with someone else and cheat. Okay. Your friend is in denial. It's hard to be friends with her now because you don't respect her, and you're going to have to hear about this guy, and it's going to be sort of like a muted version of your friendship. So what's the question here? To stay neutral, you don't have to be neutral. You don't have to shove it down her throat every day, but you need to sit her down and give her and be like, if you want to be my friend, I need to tell you how I feel. Because what is expected of you now? What?
No, I think it's like, you know, when you have a friend that they break up and they get back together and they break up, it's like you can't talk shit about the husband because they're going to get back together. So basically, knowing that they're going to stay together, she can't just be like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, because she can't judge her friend's choice to stay with him, or she
it's
doesn't
also
want
hard
to.
because it's a husband. So it's like, he's going to be at the birthday parties. You're going to have to smile to this person. Like, it puts you in a weird position because you love your friend. And I promise you, when she stays with him, all of a sudden you will be made out to be the bitch.
Right. Why are you trying to break us up?
He's going to say things about you. He's not going to like it. Somehow when men cheat, a woman gets blamed that had nothing to do with the cheating.
Yeah.
So the question is, can you, and I can't answer this for you, stay friends with her and respect her? If you were her friend first and you guys love each other and you're like, I just need to be there for her, and you can hang out and not hear about him. I do have a friend like this who would date someone that I think is garbage. And I've said it multiple times they've broken up, and I know that they're dating, and I think she's afraid to tell me. Just so you know, I know. And she knows I never want to hear about this person, and they're never invited over. And she's never said anything to me. So you can set your boundaries. I love you. I want to hang out with you and be there for you. But like, it's really hard to watch this happen because you are excusing his behavior. At the very least, you can be heard and maybe it'll snap her out of it, but I doubt it. That's what a real friend does, is you tell them exactly how you feel. None of this girl thing like, and I don't want to say it because I don't hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt more than her husband cheating on her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I ate so much meat in Montana and Idaho. And I ate these like loaded hash browns yesterday, and I'm still feeling it.
Oh boy. I'm so sorry.
I'm not doing great.
Yeah, I'm real worried for you. I think it's like the thing, you're not supposed to comment negatively on something about someone that they can't change. So you can't tell her to leave him, but I think you can talk to her and be a listening ear when she's like, you know, I'm really hurt or I'm really worried about him. You can be like, well, I'm really worried about you. You know, you're my priority in this.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so tough because she has 2 kids. I don't know their financial situation. Like, I get it. I get why she isn't like, and I'm marching out on my boots.
Yeah.
I do think men are more likely to stay friends with their friend who's a piece of shit and cheats on the wife.
Yeah.
And somehow women are like, what do? I don't want to hurt her feelings. You tell her the way that you feel. And you say to her, you are making excuses for his behavior. But then again, she does have 2 children and she probably feels stuck, probably doesn't have a job. So you give her a little bit of, not leeway, but it's a little bit of consideration for this situation, because it is hard to leave someone like that. So you can be a friend and be firm without stressing her out about it. Because what she doesn't need as a friend is like, you got to leave him. When are you doing it? Like, she doesn't fucking need that. She just had a baby. You can just say to her, like, I want to be there for you, but like, please don't put me in a position where I have to like serve this guy lemonade. In my mind, you guys are on a porch.
Just all hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day.
You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Okay, fan bottom, which I think is really emblematic of what this is supposed to be.
Okay.
Bottom of the cob. I was flipping my fish sticks in the air fryer, and when putting back the basket, my cork trivet was stuck to it. Needless to say, there was a shit ton of smoke. Luckily, no fire, but now everything I put in the air fryer smells smoky. And yes, I cleaned it really well. Will it go away or do I need a new one? Ugh.
I like how even she's like, and yes, before you mention it, I cleaned off the trivet.
I
I
didn't
fucking clean my shit.
Yeah, I didn't just leave chunks of burnt cork in there.
I saw this one in the Patreon, and the second I saw fish sticks, I was just like, what? What are we talking about? But that's awful. Owning an appliance that forever smells, like when my cousin made a whole piece of fish on my George Foreman grill in my condo and burned it, and the whole condo smelled like tilapia, and it got so bad I had to sell the whole thing.
That's why you moved.
Yeah. All right.
My bottom is having to do little tasks for no reason, in that I needed to return something at IKEA. And I'm like, hey, online, I needed to get a swap. The backboard of something was all crunched. And I was like, can I get a new one? And they're like, we could send you a whole new bookcase unit. And I said, no, I don't need a whole new unit. I need just the backboard.
Yeah, they don't care.
So I had to go in, and everyone at this IKEA was so nice. But to have to sit there in a line with everyone else holding my giant backboard, like waiting to get, I'm just like, this is so stupid. I thought we evolved past this. Why am I in line for 35 minutes? Just send me a new backboard. Everything's supposed to come to my home now. I shouldn't have to leave and go here. I'd been dreading going. And then I went, and it was, of course, fine and easy. And I got the new backboard. But when you just have to do like an errand like that, where you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. This isn't my fault.
I don't want to be doing this with my free time. And
yeah.
These corporations are like, we'd rather waste a lot of resources and money getting you a whole new thing because we don't care about the rainforest.
Yeah,
and it's
I was
like, it should be
no.
part specific. Yeah. The amount of times like, we'll just send you a whole new one. You're like, that actually makes me feel really bad. I've dealt with that with Pottery Barn. We ordered some shelves and they arrived broken. And then it's like my job to like put it in and it's very heavy, to put it in a box, to have them come. They're like, we'll just replace it. And I'm like, I don't want to replace it. I just want I was like, can I get a refund? They don't offer refunds. Like, it was so painful.
Yeah.
And Pottery Barn is everywhere. Like, you cannot avoid it.
Yeah.
And it arrived and the drawers are too small, but I'm not getting rid of it.
This
and
is
the
it.
back's all fucked up. Yep. But no one will see it until we move in like 50 years. Okay.
Yeah. What's your bottom?
Well, one's about fall and one's about postpartum, but
what a range.
My bottom of the cob is something a lot of women deal with, and it is the postpartum weird hair that you get. Some women have hair loss. I have that thing where like the front of your hair is just like a little fucked up now. It's like not a haircut anyone would ask for. Like, can you just shave the front? Like, I've gone to a Puerto Rican barber. Like, all the hair in the front has broken off and it's uneven. And so even when it's in a ponytail, it looks like little shaved on the side. It's really hard to cover up. And I don't want to take Rogaine or something. I have a deep mistrust of products, just like a lot of chemical-based products, because it'll be like, oh, it turns out it gives you Alzheimer's. Like, I'm just not waiting around for like, turns out minoxidil wasn't good for you. So I'm just over here like forgetting to take biotin. But like, I already didn't have great hair in the front of my head. And now it's like weird and sticks straight out if I blow dry my hair straight. Like, it's just not a haircut anyone would ask for.
Yeah.
And we're 8 months out, so it's enough. Annoying.
Can you get just plugs in the front?
Yeah, you can. But that's a really painful, expensive procedure. And I'm just hoping, like, it looks like I had brain surgery and it's growing back in. And like, I had naturally have curly hair. So it's like always like a little wavy and you can see my scalp. It's not hair loss. It's just broken, which I guess is better than that. But it's just like fucked up looking. Like, my hair has to be in a good mood for it to all go back into a beautiful ponytail. And sometimes it's just like, it looks like 1,000 little bee stingers sticking out of my head.
Hey, Liza and Emily. My top of the cob is Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Money is tight, but I love giving gifts to my nieces and nephews when I can. My favorite one being that when they were born, I helped set them each up to get a free book every month until they are 5 years old because of St. Dolly's Imagination Library Service. So every month they each get a new and wonderful surprise in the mail that they get to read and share. It makes my child-free heart happy knowing that I get to pass on my love of reading to my favorite little gremlins. Love from PDX, Lindsay. Now, I was excited about that one because I've always read about Dolly Parton's book program, but I don't know anyone who's actually used it. So that's very cool.
Yeah. I don't think there's one bad thing you could say about Dolly Parton.
For real. I mean,
It is that thing as a woman in show business. If you live long enough, you become a saint.
Mm.
Like, I'm sure there might have been a time where Betty White wasn't the best, but if you live long enough, you get canonized.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah. Well,
You cannot tell me one female country singer who is not revered. Like Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton,
I love Reba.
Shania Twain, Trisha Yearwood.
All
the
dead.
one that married Kelly Clarkson. Well, she's much younger. They're all dead. Okay.
My top of the cob is feeling like I've figured out a secret. And in this instance, it is
Faith Hill. Sorry. That's what I was trying to think of.
Faith Hill, famously in the film The Stepford Wives remake with Nicole Kidman.
Faith Hill, ex-wife of Biggie Smalls. No, that's Faith Evans. No one on this podcast cares. Okay, go ahead.
I feel like I've figured out a hack. And it's not a hack, but I feel very smart, which is if you're looking at reviews of something on a site and you're like, oh, it's all 5 stars. Who cares? Don't read the 5-star reviews. Don't read the 1-star reviews. What you want to read are the 2 to 4, ideally the 3-star reviews, the 4-star reviews, because people will say, loved this aspect, but it didn't do this thing. And you might read that and go, well, that's not a deal breaker. That's not what I'm buying it for. But they love the part that I am buying it for. Those are the reviews that are valuable because the person's giving actual context as to why they're giving that. When somebody's 1, it's just, I hate it. This sucks. I would say the same for a restaurant. 1, hate it. It sucks. 5, great. I don't know. I'm not good at reviewing. I just gave it a 5. But in the middle, when they write something, take that, read that when you're looking at a product. Because then you know Amazon buys reviews, and I've done it before.
Yeah.
They'll send me
you can
things.
tell.
You can totally tell, but they'll send me.
Really? You own this many products that you review and you're totally normal and not making money off of this?
Right. Or
you
it's
have the time?
It's all those made up where it's the product is Zergerberf made this tray because it's from some random Chinese country.
And then the way they review it is not a normal. Or the way a normal person writes, it's always just I love it. It is functional. It is exactly what I asked for.
Yeah.
It is 12 inches by 14 inches. It is perfect for me. I used it you're just you sound like a robot.
So someone's like, okay, 4 stars. It's 12 by 14 inches. It works, but I found that it doesn't hold soups well. You can be like, well, I wasn't going to put soup in it. So great.
It was a VCR. Yeah. I respect that. Are you a Google Map restaurant review person or a Yelp? Yeah, those are the people. Those are the real ones.
Yelp. I left a Yelp review today for the IKEA and I filled out the customer survey because the person was so nice. So I made sure I got her name and I left a review. I've been chasing the high ever since I used to get training. I got personal training at a Crunch and I left my trainer a nice review. So they gave him a gift card and he thanked me. And I was like, I'm going to get more people gift cards from their corporations.
That's a fun film. You wrote a review. It got your trainer a gift card. He thanked you. He took you out with that gift card. You left a nice review for that barista. They just how kindness gets paid forward. And speaking of reviews and writing in, that is a perfect setup for my top of the cob, which was we got on the plane from Boise, Idaho this morning.
Is that how you say it?
Yes, it is, Emily.
Okay.
By the way, last night, right as Hunter was going on stage, he was announcing himself with voice of God. And he was like, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm screaming in his ear. I'm like, it's the Beehive State. The Beehive State. And he's like, it's Hunter Hill. I'm like, it's the Beehive State. And he's dying laughing. And he gets on stage and the security guard goes, it's not the Beehive State. And I was like, what? Yes, it is. I go, what's the Beehive State? He goes, Utah. I was like, where the hell are we? He's like, the Gem State. I'm like, no one knows that. Anyway, not the Beehive State. Getting on the plane from Boise this morning, obviously post-show, long trip.
Yeah.
We get on this tiny plane. It is 6:30 in the morning, and it's a Delta flight. So you know they're playing those sweet, sweet tunes. And give me a reason to hold my girl. Give me a reason to hold my girl. And I'm not the first one. I'm like the third one on. And I look at the flight attendant. I just said, I go, it's so bad. Can you turn it down? It's really bad music. I'm sure you know that. She goes, there's no way to turn it down, which is so fucked up.
Right, because they're all being tortured.
There's no volume control, that it's either a 10 or an 11. And then she said to me, I can't turn it down, but I could just pause it. And she paused it. I can't turn it down, but I could turn it off. And she did. She fucking paused it. And the rest of the flight boarded in total silence. No one complained. I didn't hear one person like, oh, where's the music? I want to hear someone belting out an epithet to North Carolina. I want to hear someone crying about his hometown sweetie cheating on him with a pastor. No one. The flight was perfect. Got off the plane, and I was like, what can I do? I can't tell them. She goes, no, don't tell on me. I was like, no, I can't tell them you did it. She goes, just say you had a good flight. So just so we all, I don't want to out her, but I do want to say to the flight attendant who made my fucking life. And it was not eye-opening, but reaffirming that, like, yes, these people who are put into these systems that are designed to upset you do have power.
I mean, who knows? I'm sure she's like, God, I hope she doesn't tell anyone on me and I lose my job. You know, it's like
you shouldn't have to be. Think of all the times in your life you've asked someone to do something that is the right thing and normal. They're like, oh, unfortunately, due to this bullshit rule, I can't. Think of all the things you are forced to do. Yeah. Lines you are forced to. Unfortunately, we can't send you one piece. We've got to do this way. And then there's someone like this that's like, actually, I can do that. Sure. Which means that option was always there and people are deliberately not helping you because they feel trapped and they want to pay it forward. So thank you for opening my eyes, because I always knew that I was right and that it didn't have to be this awful. And this morning she proved that. Best flight of my fucking life.
I'm so happy for you.
I was really happy. Now I'm going to expect it. Now I'm going to get on the flight and be like, I know you can pause it. Nobody here likes it. It's really awful. It's so early.
But see, look, she created a monster. Now you're going to take.
I'm Joe Public. You cannot take away rights from Americans without us losing our shit. Oh my God. I hate it.
I know.
The guy that sings is probably a nice person, and I fucking hate him now.
We made it.
We're out of here. Send us your holiday thoughts, questions, queries, things that you're nervous about. We can talk about it. I want to make this whole month about holidays.
Well, this whole next month. But let's go ahead and, guys, always think about your email when you're writing it. But right before you hit send, give it a read and think, is Emily going to get yelled at by Iliza when she reads this for it being too long? Think about me when you're typing, please.
And take a note from our marzipan arugula friend. Give us some fun names.
Yeah, don't do person A, person B. There was a question where people were asking about like Derek and Meredith, and it turns out, I don't think it was a Meredith, but it was definitely Derek. It was all Grey's Anatomy characters. We didn't catch that. We're just like, oh, white people names.
Oh, that's fun. It could be like a New York Times crossword puzzle where like we have to guess at the end what the names were. I love that. Don't do Star Wars. I'm not going to know it. Okay. Bye.
We track so many things in our lives. Trending podcasts, playlists, even your favorite artist's next album release. It's time for an easy way to track your glucose. Meet Stello, the powerful glucose biosensor available without a prescription that tracks glucose 24/7 to reveal how food, exercise, and even sleep can affect your glucose, helping you become a healthier you. Join the personal health revolution today at Stello.com.
It had to be you.
Dang, you're not supposed to sound that good at karaoke.
You've just only heard me sing all stuffed up with nasal polyps. But now I'm on this medicine and breathing better, so this is me with less congestion.
Dupixent, dupilumab, is an add-on prescription maintenance treatment for uncontrolled chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyps in adults and children 12 years and up. It can help shrink your nasal polyps so you can breathe better with less congestion. Plus, it's an alternative to surgery.
Oh, this is your song!
Wish I was singing after Congested You.
Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away if signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection or asthma. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor.
Do more with less nasal polyps. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Learn more at Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT.